They didn't hate you because you did something wrong. They hated you because you did something they couldn't survive doing. That's the difference between you and them. You faced your demons and walked out with scars that looked like medals. They ran from theirs and built fake smiles to hide the cowardice. You made peace with pain. They weaponized jealousy. They threw dirt on your name, thinking it would bury you, but it just made you grow roots. And now? Oh, now they can't stand to see the tree you became, casting shade over their lies. Every time your name comes up, their ego twitches. Every time you win, their insecurities convulse. They didn't want justice, they wanted control, but they lost it the moment you stopped needing their validation. Now imagine this for a moment. Chosen one, you walk into a room and the air changes. Laughter drops 2 octaves. Eyes flicker but avoid yours. That's not paranoia, it's pressure. Your presence exposes what they've been pretending to be. You were the mirror that showed them what mediocrity looks like next to authenticity. And that's why they attacked you, not for what you did, but for what your existence reminded them of. And here's the cold, undeniable fact. Studies in behavioral psychology show that envy activates the same neural regions as physical pain. Let that sink in. Seeing you thrive literally hurts them. You were right. Every strange energy, every fake laugh, every coincidental setback, you felt it because it was real. They were never neutral. They were threatened. You were not overreacting. You were decoding a war they tried to wage silently. And thank you, chosen one. Don't forget to pay this message back by simply pressing the like and subscribe to help spread this message to more souls. It's the responsibility of all of us to spread the light. Thank you for being part of this mission. You're not just a listener, you're part of a force. Now back to what they didn't expect. You to survive it. You see, people like that don't destroy lives. They reveal them. Every scheme they plotted became proof of your strength. They wanted to make you doubt your reality, gaslight your intuition, and rewrite your story. But your clarity ruined their script. Because while they were busy attacking, you were busy awakening. They thought they could discredit you by twisting your truth. But the truth doesn't need defense. It just waits for lies to collapse under their own weight. You were right the whole time. You sensed it when people started acting different after your wins. You noticed how the support turned silent the moment success stopped being shared. You caught the shade masked as jokes, the advice laced with doubt. You knew it wasn't coincidence, it was orchestration. The attack wasn't impulsive, it was a calculated attempt to dim what they couldn't duplicate. But here's the plot twist. They created their own downfall when they chose you as the enemy. Because when you tried to help, they mocked you. When you warned them, they dismissed you. And when you withdrew, they panicked. They underestimated the kind of strength that doesn't announce itself. They mistook kindness for weakness, silence for defeat, and grace for gullibility. But now they're learning that calm doesn't mean powerless. It means dangerous. You've become what they feared most, a walking contradiction to their narrative. You outgrew the lies they told about you, and now every rumor they spread looks stupid next to your reality. You see, chosen one, there's something they'll never admit out loud. They need your energy to feel alive. That's why they targeted you. You were the battery that powered their ego. They drained you for validation, then blamed you for being too much. But when you pulled back, their mask cracked. You didn't lose them, they lost their supply, and that's why they're mad. They're not angry at you for what you did. They're angry at the silence you left behind. Because now, without your energy, they're forced to meet themselves. The truth is, they attacked because you were proof that the system they worship is broken. You didn't follow their rules, yet you kept winning. You didn't beg for love, yet you stayed loved. You didn't sell your soul, yet you kept leveling up. That's what drives them insane. You broke the algorithm they thought they controlled, and now every attempt to stop you just accelerates your ascension. So let them talk, let them pretend, because while they're still rehearsing fake versions of confidence, you're out here living proof that authenticity is the ultimate revenge. You were right, chosen one. They attacked out of malice and spite, but in doing so, they proved exactly who the threat really was. You. And chosen one, don't go anywhere. That was just the warning shot. The real fire, it's coming next. You've only scratched the surface of what they did behind your back and why it all backfired. So if you've ever questioned yourself, doubted your gut, or felt crazy for sensing the shift in energy around you, stay locked in. This next part will confirm everything. Drop the number 777 in the comments if you know they didn't just dislike you, they targeted you. And if you feel this message speaking directly to your soul, bless the team behind this with a super thanks. Your support isn't just appreciated, it's fuel. You're not just helping a video, you're pushing a mission that's waking up the ones they tried to silence. This truth, it's not free. It's been paid for in scars, silence, and survival. Let's keep it moving. And now, let's rip the mask all the way off, step by step. If you're really one of the chosen, you'll feel it in your chest. You won't be able to click away. This is personal now. Let's get into it. Number 1. You saw it all coming, and they hoped you'd doubt it. They called you crazy until the truth started sounding like your voice. You saw it all coming, didn't you? Every fake smile, every weird silence, every coincidence that didn't feel like one. They thought you were paranoid, dramatic, too deep in your head, but you were reading the room like a professional lie detector. They thought they were slick, but your instincts were 10 steps ahead. That's the curse and the blessing of the chosen ones. You feel the storm before the clouds even form. You sense betrayal before the knife gets close. You can smell fake energy the way sharks smell blood in the water. The moment you said, "Something's off," they laughed. Oh, they mocked you, rolled their eyes, made you question your own clarity. But who's laughing now? Because everything you said turned out to be exactly right. You were right about their intentions, right about their gossip, right about their envy, right about the ones who pretended to support you but were clapping with resentment behind their teeth. It's funny how people will gaslight you into silence just because your truth exposes their comfort zone. But that's what chosen ones do. They make lies uncomfortable. Now imagine this for a second. Chosen one. A wolf can always sense when something's stalking it in the woods. Long before the threat makes a sound, instinct kicks in. That's you. While everyone else is distracted by noise, you feel vibration. You don't just see the attack, you sense it. And that's what drove them insane. They couldn't manipulate someone who already saw their moves before they made them. You became their worst nightmare. The one they couldn't fool. The one who smiled through sabotage because you'd already seen the ending. Science even backs you up, by the way. There's an entire study on interpersonal intuition, where the human brain can detect lies and energy shifts through micro-expressions in as little as 0.04 seconds. That's how fast your subconscious picks up deceit. So no, you weren't overthinking. You were reading energy faster than they could fake it. Your intuition is an advanced defense system, one they tried to label as sensitivity to make you ignore your own radar. But you didn't. You trusted it, and that's why you're still standing while their stories are collapsing. They wanted you to doubt yourself, because self-doubt is the only way to destroy someone who's already protected by clarity. You ever notice how they panicked every time you got quiet? It wasn't because you were weak. It was because your silence made them wonder what you knew. That's the power of someone who sees too much, the one who doesn't need to argue, the one who doesn't expose people, just disappears and lets the truth expose itself. You ever ask yourself, why do I keep sensing people's real intentions so early? That's not paranoia, that's spiritual pattern recognition. You've been through so much betrayal that your nervous system evolved into a lie detector. You can read energy through tone, through pauses, through that fake little ha-ha they force when they're jealous. You're not guessing, you're decoding. And you know what's wild? Every great visionary in history went through the same thing. Nikola Tesla was called insane because he saw energy patterns no one else understood. Joan of Arc was labeled delusional because her instincts didn't match the narrative. Even modern legends, like Steve Jobs, were mocked for seeing things that weren't there. But chosen ones, they always see it before the crowd does. And that vision comes with isolation. People don't believe what they can't comprehend, and you, my friend, were light years ahead of comprehension. That's why they tried to turn your awareness into a weakness. They whispered, "You're too sensitive." They said, "You read too much into things." No, you read correctly. You just didn't have the receipts yet. They confuse evidence with truth. But you feel it before it's visible. And when the receipts finally show up, boom, their fake confidence cracks like glass under pressure. Let's talk psychology for a second. Narcissists and manipulators hate intuitive people because intuition breaks their game. They thrive on confusion, and you removed that advantage. They wanted you second-guessing everything because doubt is their favorite leash, but you slipped it off. You chose awareness over approval, and that's why they had to attack you. They couldn't stand a version of you that wasn't under their illusion. You know what makes this story even more poetic? They knew you knew. The moment your eyes went quiet, the moment your energy withdrew, they felt it. That cold stare that said, "I see you." That was the end of their control, because nothing terrifies deceit more than exposure. You turned from their target into their mirror, and that's when the panic started. You were no longer predictable, you were powerful. People always say, trust needs to be earned, but no one talks about how doubt is earned too. You didn't start doubting people for no reason. They earned your suspicion through patterns, through inconsistency, through actions that didn't match their words. That's what intuition is built on, receipts disguised as feelings. Let's put it bluntly, they tried to make you question your reality because your reality scared them. You were decoding too much, seeing too far, connecting dots they wanted to keep scattered. They tried to blur your mind, twist your empathy against you, and play on your kindness. But your instincts cut through all of it like a knife through fog. Remember this, the same intuition they mocked is the reason you're still standing. That funny feeling in your gut saved your peace more times than you'll ever know. And now that your instincts have been proven right, they're panicking. Why? Because your accuracy means their manipulation is obsolete. You've become unprogrammable. That's what scares them most. You can't be fooled anymore. Here's the irony, chosen one. They thought making you doubt yourself would break you. Instead, it trained you. Every betrayal sharpened your radar. Every lie upgraded your discernment. Every heartbreak tuned your frequency. You evolved into someone who can't be tricked twice. That's your superpower now. You don't just survive deception, you study it. You turn it into data. You are the human version of a spoiler alert. They hate you because you ruin their performance before the act begins. That's the level of awareness you're operating on. You became the player who knows the entire playbook. That's why they call you intense, cold, or different. Those are the words people use when they realize their manipulation won't work anymore. And maybe a part of you wonders, will I ever be able to trust again? The answer, yes, but never blindly. You'll trust energy, not words. You'll trust actions, not promises. You'll trust patterns, not apologies. Because once you've seen behind the curtain, you can never unsee it. That's what they call wisdom, and it's not something you read in books. It's something betrayal taught you directly. So here's your reminder. You're not too intuitive. You're not too aware. You're just awake in a world that benefits from your confusion. They wanted to dull your senses, but you turned your sensitivity into strategy. You're no longer just noticing patterns. You are the pattern breaker. That's what being chosen means. It's not about luck or favor. It's about surviving enough illusions to finally see the code. They thought they could outsmart you. They thought your empathy made you weak. But empathy is just intelligence with heart. You're not broken. You're built differently. You're not emotional. You're accurate. And they can't stand that, because deep down, they know you saw everything before it happened. And that's why they tried to make you doubt your power. But it's too late now. You've already decoded the game. You don't need revenge because your accuracy is the revenge. You don't need closure because their collapse is your confirmation. You saw it all coming and they hoped you'd doubt it. But you didn't. You believed yourself. And that's the moment you became unstoppable. Number 2. The jealousy pipeline, from envy to obsession to sabotage. They didn't want your life, they wanted your light, but since they couldn't have it, they tried to destroy it. That's where it always starts, not with a full-out war, not with a screaming match, but with a sideways glance, a compliment laced with envy, a joke that hits just a little too hard. You didn't do anything to them. You were just being you, existing in your lane, glowing without permission. But someone saw that glow and hated the reflection it cast on their own shadow. It's never really about what you have, chosen one. It's about what you are. And what you are, a walking reminder of what they'll never become. You triggered their insecurity simply by breathing in your power. And at first, they tried to mimic you. Copy the style, steal the tone, talk like you, walk like you. They wanted the shine without the scars. But when that didn't work, when their knockoff version started to look like a bad joke next to your authenticity, the jealousy turned toxic. That's the pipeline, isn't it? It always flows the same way. Envy turns to obsession. Obsession turns to sabotage. You didn't ask for fans, but they studied you like one. And when they realized they couldn't be you, they tried to break you. Now imagine this. Chosen one. Someone sits in a crowd watching you perform. They clap, they smile, but inside, they're seething, not because you did anything wrong, but because you're making it look too easy. They think, why them and not me? And that thought festers, becomes a quiet mission, not to elevate themselves, but to dismantle you. And what makes it worse? It's usually the ones you gave love to, the ones you supported, the ones who once looked up to you, but couldn't stand staying beneath you. Jealousy is a silent killer, and you felt it before you had the words for it. That weird energy when you shared good news, that uncomfortable silence when you succeeded, that sudden distance after a breakthrough. Their love was conditional, their loyalty had limits, and the moment you passed those limits, their mask slipped. You didn't outgrow them, you just stopped shrinking to keep them comfortable. There's a term in psychology called crab mentality. You know what crabs do in a bucket? When one tries to escape, the others pull it back down, not because they're evil, but because they don't know how to climb out themselves. That's how jealous people operate. They see you trying to rise, and instead of learning from you, they try to drag you back to their level. They'd rather see you fail than face their own failure. And the obsession? Oh, that part's real. They watched your every move like a spectator in a game they were never invited to. Your social media? They never liked your posts, but they never missed one. Your words? Recycled, reworded, reposted. But your energy? Never duplicated. And that's what burned them, because you weren't performing, you were being. And authenticity has a frequency that imitation can't reach. The truth is, they didn't want your job, your partner, your car, or your status. They wanted your peace, your self-respect, your spiritual immunity. They wanted to walk into a room and be felt the way you are. But that kind of presence? It's earned, and they weren't willing to suffer for it like you did. So they did what all cowards do. They tried to destroy what they couldn't copy. And they didn't come at you directly. No, they used whispers, half-truths, passive-aggressive digs. They tried to poison your name in rooms you hadn't even stepped into yet, tried to erase your presence before you arrived. That's sabotage at its most pathetic. But what they didn't realize is this: real power doesn't need to defend itself. Your truth walked in before you did, and when your name hit their mouths, it hit with weight. Because no matter how hard they tried to bury you, people kept asking, but why do they still shine? You ever ask yourself, why me? Why do they keep targeting me? The answer's ugly, but it's real, because you made it out of a place they're still stuck in, because you healed something they haven't even faced, because your resilience exposed their laziness. Your evolution made them uncomfortable with their stagnancy. You didn't threaten their life, you threatened their illusion of it. Look at any legend. Beyoncé got accused of being too perfect. Kobe got called too intense. Michael Jackson got mocked for being too different. The world has a history of punishing people who master their lane, because excellence shames mediocrity without even trying. Your existence isn't neutral. You're not wallpaper. You walk in and shift the entire emotional temperature of a space, and people who run on ego hate that. They wanted to make you question your worth so they wouldn't have to question their own. They attacked your confidence so they could feel taller next to your silence. But here's where the story flips. Every time they sabotaged you, they sharpened you. Every trap they set taught you a new move. Every fake friend activated another upgrade. What they meant for harm, life twisted into growth. You became the weapon they never saw coming. You don't rise from sabotage by staying bitter. You rise by becoming unreachable. And that's where you are now. You've seen what people are willing to do when they feel threatened by your existence. And yet, you're still rising, still evolving, still walking with a calm that screams, "I already won." That's why they're more mad now than ever. You survived the smear campaign, the betrayal, the isolation, and came back louder. You see, chosen one, people can't fake consistency. They can fake love, they can fake concern, but they can't fake growth. And that's what's exposing them now. They tried to become you through shortcuts, but shortcuts don't build foundation. That's why they're crumbling while you're thriving. Your roots go deep. Theirs were shallow. You grew in silence. They chased applause. And now the crowd's gone, and so is their relevance. Jealousy always backfires in the end, because when you attack someone who was just focused on their own lane, the universe responds. It says, you want to compete? Fine, but you better be ready to be humbled. And oh, are they being humbled? Slowly, publicly, repeatedly. The people they lied to, watching, the ones they tried to turn against you, noticing, the ones they used to get ahead, leaving. They made you the villain in their head, but you were never playing their game. You were just too busy building a life they couldn't sabotage. That's the most brutal revenge, becoming undeniable. Let them copy the outer shell. They'll never touch the inner fire. Let them mock the silence. They'll never reach the signal. Let them throw shade. You are the sun. So don't let the attacks make you smaller. Let them confirm what you already knew. You were always the one who rose without permission, the one who transformed hate into fuel, the one they couldn't kill off no matter how many times they tried. You walked through envy, obsession, and sabotage, and you're still here. That's power. That's chosen. That's you. Number 3. They orchestrated the fall. But, oops, you didn't fall. They built the collapse for you. Now they're the ones buried under the rubble. Oh, they really thought they snapped with that one. The manipulation, the gaslighting, the backdoor setups. They put in overtime crafting your downfall. Like little puppet masters, they pulled strings, whispered lies, set traps, and waited for the crash. But spoiler alert, you didn't fall. Not because they didn't hit hard, but because you don't break like them. You adapted, you shifted, you turned every setback into strategy, every betrayal into blueprint. And the only thing that collapsed was their illusion of control. They thought you'd self-destruct, that your pain would silence you, that isolation would suffocate you. Instead, you learned to breathe differently. You leveled up in silence while they celebrated too early. It's funny. When they thought you were at your lowest, the universe was just rearranging the pieces so you'd rise from a different angle. They don't get it. The chosen one doesn't break. They transform. You ever notice how people get loud right before they think they've won? That's exactly what they did, running their mouth, twisting narratives, hyping up your fall like it was permanent. But oops, what they didn't plan for was your resilience. What they didn't factor in was how the universe was watching. You weren't being punished, you were being positioned. That's what makes you dangerous now. You're not naive anymore. You've seen what people are willing to do just to see you down. And instead of becoming bitter, you became smarter. You started paying attention to patterns, not promises. You stopped over-explaining. You moved in silence, and that terrified them. Because control doesn't work on someone who's already survived chaos. They tried to make you doubt yourself. Instead, you became the version of yourself they hoped you'd never meet. Sharper, scarier, untouchable. You stopped being the puppet and became the one who sees the strings. You're not just surviving now. You're strategizing, calculating, elevating. And that glow-up, oh, it's divine. Because now the universe is aligning everything they tried to block. The blessings are hitting harder than their betrayal ever did. So if you're wondering, why did they do all this? It's because they saw what was coming for you. Your destiny scared them more than your presence. They weren't trying to stop the current version of you. They were trying to stop the next one. But the universe doesn't take orders from cowards, and it never gives power to people who use it to sabotage. It gives it to you, so let them watch, let them flinch. You didn't just survive the orchestration, you turned the whole damn script against them. You were never the fall, you were the rise they couldn't stop. Number 4, payback ain't emotional, it's mathematical. They thought they got away with it until the universe showed up with receipts. Payback isn't about rage, chosen one. It's not about snapping back or getting loud. Nah, real payback. It's cold, it's calculated, it's mathematical. The universe isn't fueled by emotions. It's fueled by balance, energy, cause and effect. It doesn't forget. It doesn't need reminders, and it definitely doesn't need your help dragging anyone. It's already tallying the bill. You see, while they were out here taking shots behind your back, draining your energy, lying on your name, celebrating your losses, you were quiet, you were healing, and the whole time, life was doing the math. Karma's not blind, it's patient, and the interest on their actions, oh, it's steep. They didn't just waste your time, they tried to steal from your future. But here's what they didn't realize. You can't rob someone the universe is protecting. Every hour they drained you, every setup they orchestrated, every fake apology they rehearsed, logged, stamped, filed, and now the invoice just dropped. You feel it, don't you? The shift, the weight returning to their side of the scale. People think karma's some fairy tale, but this is physics. What goes out must come back. Not always when you want it, not always how you expect it, but when it returns, it hits precisely where it hurts. You're not crazy for letting go. You're not weak for walking away. That was the most dangerous move you could have made, because silence is karma's signal. It's like saying, I don't have to fight. The universe has already decided. And the best part? You didn't chase revenge. You chased alignment. You elevated. You let life handle what was never your weight to carry. That's why everything is starting to turn in your favor. The jobs, the money, the peace, the clarity. None of it is random. It's just the universe paying you back with compound interest. So let them act confused when their life starts crumbling. Let them ask, why is everything going wrong? You already know why. The same energy they sent out is just showing back up, wearing their name. And this time, there's no deflection, no distractions, no scapegoats. This ain't about vengeance, it's about equation. They wrote the formula the moment they chose war with someone chosen. And now, the numbers don't lie. Welcome to pay-up season. Number 5. Welcome to the edge of the matrix. When you stop playing by their rules, you stop losing their game. You've made it, chosen one, to the edge, the border, the glitch in the system, and they feel it, that shift in your eyes, that stillness in your energy. You don't react like you used to. You don't need to prove anything anymore. You're not trying to be understood, accepted, or liked. And that's exactly what's driving them insane. You've stepped out of their matrix, out of their rules, their approval loops, their desperate little power games. You're standing at the edge of the world they tried to trap you in, and they hate it, because now they can't reach you. They used to control you with guilt, with fear, with silence. But something snapped, and instead of begging for a seat at their table, you built your own damn universe. You stopped showing up to play roles in their drama. You outgrew their conditioning, their fake peace offerings, their manipulated chaos. And now you're glitching out of their programming. You're no longer the version of yourself they trained you to be. You chose yourself. This is what they never expected. They counted on your loyalty to your past. They thought you'd stay stuck out of fear, out of habit, out of love. But you woke up. You unplugged. You stopped responding to dysfunction like it was normal. And suddenly, you became the one thing they never wanted you to be: free. You're on the edge of the matrix now, and that edge, that's power. It means you've stopped being predictable. They can't bait you. They can't guilt you. They can't hook you with shallow compliments or subtle control. You've become dangerous, not because you fight, but because you see. You see the pattern, you see the loop, and you chose to exit. And yes, it's lonely out here at the edge. That's why most people never make it. They cling to the comfort of the system, even when it's killing them. But not you. You let go. You embraced the isolation. And that's why the universe is rewarding you in ways they'll never understand. You're not detached, you're aligned. You're not avoiding people, you're avoiding programming. They'll say you've changed, that you're distant. Not the same anymore. Of course you're not the same. You're upgraded, and that upgrade didn't require their permission. The truth is, the moment you stopped playing small to make others feel big, you broke the contract they had with your silence. And now, every move you make echoes like a warning shot across the old system. So, if you're wondering, why do I feel disconnected from everything I used to care about? It's because you were never meant to stay there. The Matrix rewards obedience, not authenticity. It gives fake peace in exchange for your voice. But you're done trading power for crumbs. You're done fitting into rooms that shrink you. The people still trapped in the Matrix, they'll throw shade at your glow. They'll call your peace arrogance, your independence selfish, your silence cold. But don't flinch. That's just the glitch talking. They can't process someone who chose evolution over validation. You're not part of their loop anymore, and that unsettles them more than anything. And here's the truth that stings. Most of them saw you waking up. They felt the moment your energy detached, and instead of rising with you, they tried to drag you back. They attacked you, not to destroy you, but to reclaim you, to bring you back under their control. But when that failed, they switched to fear tactics, guilt trips, and smear campaigns. Too late. You're already gone. The edge of the Matrix is where the real ones rise. This is where visionaries are born, where new rules are written, where silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. You're not running from the world. You're building a new one. The old reality is collapsing behind you, and that panic you feel from others, that's just their fear of your freedom. And the universe? It's been waiting for this moment. It's not punishing you with isolation, it's preparing you for influence. You were never meant to blend in. You were designed to wake others up. That's why you couldn't stay in that old story. That's why you couldn't keep playing by rules made to keep you powerless. So no, you're not lost. You're on the edge, right where transformation begins. And while they scream for your attention, your validation, your reaction, you'll be too busy building the next dimension. They'll call you cold. But in reality, you're just too far out for their flames to burn anymore. Let them talk. Let them reach. Let them throw stones from a world you don't live in anymore. You're not running, you're rising. Welcome to the edge of the Matrix, chosen one. This is where they stop reaching you, and you start reaching everything. Number 6. Cancel the holidays. Cancel the BS. They built fake traditions to control minds, and you just cancelled their whole script with one word: no. At some point, chosen one, you looked around and said, wait, who made these rules? Who said you have to show up every year to fake smiles, to pass plates to people who stabbed you in the back, to gift your time, money, and energy to people who never showed up for your truth? You saw the setup. The emotional manipulation dressed up as tradition, the guilt trips disguised as celebration, and you unplugged. You cancelled the show, and with it, their entire illusion. You started asking the questions that scared them. Why am I doing this? Who is this really for? Because let's be real, the traditions were never about love. They were about control, about pressure, about looking good for the group photo while everything behind the scenes was broken. But you stopped pretending. You pulled back. And in doing so, you committed the ultimate act of rebellion. You chose authenticity over performance. And they felt it, that silence, that absence. Oh, it was loud, because when a chosen one stops showing up to perform, the whole house of lies starts shaking. They noticed, they whispered, they acted like you were the problem. But deep down, they knew the mask was cracking and you were the one holding the hammer. They say, it's just tradition. No, it's a trap. It's a loop. It's an obligation soaked in fake unity. You're not cold. You're just not playing along anymore. You're not bitter. You're clear. And that clarity has value they can't manipulate. You didn't cancel holidays because you hate connection. You cancelled performative connection. You cancelled the idea that you have to suffer just to maintain appearances, that you owe access to people just because of a date on a calendar. That love is proven by how many gifts you give while your soul stays ignored. Nah, you chose you this time. You chose peace over noise, truth over pressure, reality over illusion. And yeah, they didn't like it, because the moment you step out of tradition, you break the cycle they needed you to stay in. You stopped being predictable, stopped showing up just to keep the peace, and in doing so, you forced them to face the hollowness of what they called family, community, loyalty. And it hit them where it hurts, because your absence wasn't petty, it was powerful. It was a message. It said, I will no longer participate in my own exhaustion. You took your energy back. And when a chosen one pulls their energy out of the matrix, the whole frequency of that environment drops. You're creating new meaning now, new systems, new celebrations that don't require you to bleed for inclusion. You're done sacrificing your peace to keep a tradition that was never built for your growth. The holidays used to drain you. Now they empower you, because you stopped attending as a performer and started observing as a creator. And maybe you wondered, am I wrong for pulling away? No, you're right on time. You're not rejecting love. You're rejecting fake love. You're not being selfish. You're being sovereign. And the universe, it's applauding you for it. It's sending new connections, real alignment, fresh traditions that match your energy, not your trauma. This is what chosen ones do. They don't just challenge the system, they replace it. You've got the pen now. You write the story. And if that means cancelling the old scripts, then so be it. They had their chance to evolve with you. They chose comfort. You chose truth. So let them talk. Let them act confused. Why aren't you showing up? Simple. Because I'm not a puppet. I don't show up where I'm not celebrated. I don't play happy for people who throw shade when I'm not looking. I don't perform unity when there's division behind closed doors. You're not cold. You're not distant. You're free. And now that you've cancelled their version of tradition, you're free to create your own. New celebrations, new rituals, new energy, all rooted in truth. This isn't just about skipping a dinner or saying no to fake gatherings. This is about reclaiming your space, your time, your spirit. You're not missing out, you're rising out. And those who truly love you will rise with you. The rest? Let them talk to your absence. Congratulations, chosen one. You didn't just cancel the holidays, you cancelled the BS that came with them, and just like that, you rewrote the whole damn game. Number 7. Rest, reconsider, reload. They think your silence is surrender. It's the sound of a weapon being cocked. You're not fleeing the fight, chosen one. You're refueling. Rest isn't retreat, it's reconnaissance. While they roar and scramble to feel important, you're doing the quiet work, patching wounds, sharpening instincts, mapping the next move. Rest here is tactical, like a fighter slipping behind the ropes, breathing slow, feeling every tendon, counting the pattern of the opponent's jab. They misread your calm as weakness because cowards confuse stillness with surrender. The truth is the opposite. Stillness makes you lethal. Think of the greatest comebacks in history, not the ones that panic and lash out, but the ones that plan. Muhammad Ali didn't dance into victory randomly. He watched, waited, and struck at the exact heartbeat when the opponent was overexposed. Steve Jobs didn't scream into the void. He retreated into design, came back with a product that made imitators obsolete. You're doing the same. Recharge is your lab. Reconsideration is your blueprint. Reload is the silent rehearsal of dominance. Let them whisper while you architect an outcome they can't imagine. And yeah, questions will crowd your head. Am I hiding? Am I avoiding responsibility? What if I lose momentum? Those are the panic victims talking, not you. Momentum isn't a sprint, it's an engineered trajectory. Sometimes you throttle back so your engines can be rebuilt stronger. The universe aligns with that discipline. It rewards preparation, not theatrics. When you step out after this recalibration, opportunities will hit like gravity, unavoidable, inevitable. That's not luck, that's alignment. The cosmos backs the ones who respect timing. Let them assume you're asleep. Let the gossip feed itself on your silence. Every misstep they celebrate is a log they've stacked under their own platform. Your absence exposes the fragility of their noise. You're watching how they behave without your energy. Their habits, alliances, and panic give you intelligence. This is surveillance with integrity. You don't spy to hurt. You observe to choose what's worth keeping. You reload with precision. Boundaries, strategy, alliances that matter, and resources that can't be stolen. So rest, truly rest. Reconsider. Don't recycle old solutions. Invent new ones. Reload. Return with surgical intent. The universe is not passive. It's your co-conspirator in every quiet preparation. While they burn themselves loud and fast, you build in silence. And when you move, it's irreversible. Stay patient. Build cold. Strike warm. Number 8. The ball is in your court now. A chosen one with clarity is a walking extinction event for every lie built against them. The moment you saw it for what it really was, the game flipped. No more illusions, no more second-guessing. You looked the devil in the eye, read the blueprint, and exposed the whole operation. And now the ball's in your court. You're not confused anymore, you're confirmed. They can't gaslight you into circles now because you see everything in straight lines. And that terrifies them because you're no longer reacting, you're calculating, watching, deciding. You're the one who chooses what enters your space, who gets your energy, what battles are even worth your time. And that control, that peace, it's louder than any revenge. They played you when you didn't know better, but now you do. You've seen behind the curtain, you've decoded their tactics, and nothing is more dangerous than a chosen one who's no longer blind to the setup. You're not looking for closure, you're walking proof of it. You're not hunting justice, you've become the consequence. They thought you'd chase them, they thought you'd stay stuck trying to fix it. Instead, you rewrote the outcome. And the crazy part, you didn't even have to do much. You just started choosing yourself. Let them scramble now. Let them spin stories, build narratives, weaponize sympathy. It's too late. You've got the clarity now, and with clarity comes choice and the power to choose. That's divine. You're no longer moving from emotion, you're moving with awareness. That's what makes you untouchable now. And don't let doubt creep in. Don't let their silence or shade trick you into thinking you're making it up. You felt the sabotage, you saw the jealousy, you knew it wasn't just in your head. And now that the veil is gone, your next move isn't about reacting, it's about ruling. The ball is in your court, chosen one. What you do next doesn't just change the game, it burns the whole old playbook. You've got options, you've got power, you've got vision, and they've got fear, because they finally realize you're not confused anymore, you're in control. Number 9. Oh, they were bumping into you. Nah, they were stealing. Every oops they smiled through was written as a theft in the ledger of fate. You thought it was clumsy luck. You thought people were just awkward around money, attention, or your shine. Nah. Those little collisions, they were pickpockets in slow motion, fingers sticky with your time, your funds, your ideas. They bumped into your wallet with a smile, borrowed your momentum like it was common property, and acted shocked when you noticed. That's not accident. That's habit. That's a plan dressed in casual clothes. And now it's time to lock it down. Listen up, chosen one. Thieves don't wear masks most days. They wear charm. They wear, "Oh, I didn't mean to," like cologne. The same people who clap when it's convenient will swipe when it's safe. They siphon your energy at dinners. They rebrand your ideas in meetings. They forget to reimburse. They gatekeep your contacts. They ghost you when loyalty costs them something. It's petty, it's cowardly, and it's predictable. The beautiful thing: predictability is a trap you can set. Practical moves: document everything. Receipts, screenshots, timestamps, witnesses. Gather the receipts like holy evidence because people deny what they did without proof. Lock accounts, change passwords, put agreements in writing, and build a circle that isn't a revolving door. When they try to steal your narrative, hand the world the paperwork. When they laugh it off, show the timeline. The court of public opinion loves receipts. The universe respects records. You'll ask, what if confronting blows it up? Then don't confront. Contain, protect, strategize. You don't have to perform every reaction. Sometimes the power move is silence plus action. Legal letters, contractual clarity, new boundaries that sting like neon. Watch how the same oops people suddenly become allergic to accountability when the lights switch on. That's the part that will make them cough. And to the question that gnaws, is it petty to make them pay? No, it's stewardship. You steward your life. You bill energy the same way you bill work. If they treat you like free content, invoice them, emotionally, legally, practically. Make them understand there are consequences for theft, even if it's only a stolen minute or a repackaged idea. The math adds up. The universe isn't sentimental about unpaid debts. Don't forget, the cosmos is on your side. Synchronicities will line up to reveal what was hidden. Opportunities will show where the leaks once were. Use those signs to tighten the locks. Let karma do what it does, but do your part. Secure, record, build. Turn the bump into you crowd into evidence collectors for their own undoing. You weren't naive forever. You were studying human theft. Now you graduate with honors. Lock it down, chosen one. Set the trap with dignity. Make every oops carry a price tag they can't laugh off. Number 10. They threw their best shot right before the finish line. The punch always lands hardest when the throne is inches away because they know they're about to watch you rule from a seat they swore you'd never reach. Let's call it what it is: desperation. The moment your breakthrough was peeking over the horizon, they launched their final missiles. Out of nowhere, the rumors started, the sabotage kicked in, the gaslighting turned Olympic level, and you stood there wondering, why now? But you weren't being punished, chosen one. You were being confirmed, because nothing exposes their fear faster than your proximity to the finish line. They sensed it, the shift, the glow, the quiet authority in your tone, the way you stopped explaining yourself. You were about to win, and when people with fragile egos feel that crown slipping from their grip, they don't try to elevate, they try to assassinate. Spiritually, emotionally, socially. They hope if they hit you hard enough, right before you rise, they can shake your faith, break your rhythm, or better yet, make you self-destruct. But here's what they didn't expect. You were built for this. They trained you by accident. Every petty jab, every whispered betrayal, every fake smile was a weight, and you lifted them all until your soul had muscle memory. They thought their last shot would knock you out, but it woke something ancient inside you. That finish line rage, that final form clarity, that supernatural knowing that the universe had you on schedule and no weapon formed against you could glitch the timing. It's the most ironic thing. They launched their deadliest strike at your strongest hour. That's how scared they were. They knew it was now or never. You weren't just close, you were chosen. You weren't just succeeding, you were fulfilling. And fulfillment? That's something haters can't screenshot or copy. So they panicked, played dirty, prayed for your breakdown while watching your breakthrough. And now, look at them, out of plays, exposed, exhausted. Meanwhile, you, still standing, still shining, and most dangerous of all, still moving. Because the crown, it's not coming, it's already sitting. Their best shot didn't stop you, it confirmed you. So keep walking, chosen one, don't turn around. That was their final move. Yours is next, and it's about to be checkmate.